Good evening. It's good to see you all tonight. It's been a while again. I'm apologize for wrestling with my schedule to get to these things, and with all the email troubles I had, I've been catching up. Um, but it's good to see you all tonight. As it's a beautiful Friday. Yeah, it's Friday evening after another week of living life as we keep going on. But today is still the day God's made for us, and a day of blessings, and a day of more things to count as positives than things that are of loss, because God is with us and we are His people. And today is still Easter Day, as it is every day for us as we go on. You know, as I have been trying to muddle through these things and think about these things, there's so many thoughts that come, and I think that'd be a great idea for a fireside chat, and that'd be a great idea. And one of these days, I really just have to start writing them down, so that I can actually just maybe do this daily or whatever. But I truly just wanted to spend a couple of moments with you tonight and just say, whatever. Whatever. What a great word. Whatever. When you're a kid, or you're frustrated, or you're somebody who is confused or lost, or just doesn't seem to see any direction or hope, the word whatever gets used a lot in our language and our vocabulary. We just throw up our hands and say, well, whatever. Or when somebody has to make a decision or ask you where you'd like to go to eat, well, whatever. It's a kind of a cop-out way, maybe sometimes. It's kind of a way of acknowledging that we're kind of not really caring a whole lot, but yet we want to care, but something else has got our mind, or whatever else. See, whatever. And so this week, as I've been looking at things and thinking about things and getting a few email responses from people, I thought I'd tell you about some of the good news that goes on. I love hearing about what people are doing. I love hearing what's happening with people. I got to tell you, I've been having a blast with some of the older members. I've been back and forth with Marie Hitz. She lives at the Brookstone Care Center, and her apartment opens up into the courtyard, and she's been giving me the daily saga of the geese that laid eggs outside of her door in the flower pots that she has out there, because she has her own little garden space. And this week, lo and behold, the geese were born. And for all the struggles and wonderings and everything else, she said her room was busy because people had to keep coming by and taking pictures and seeing the geese, seeing the baby goslings, as her room became motion place center for people to be able to see what was happening. And so this beautiful event of getting to watch this and having such excitement in a time of what seems like just misery and sadness for so many people, and yet a person like Marie is just looking for the joy and the blessings in it. Then I called Keith Dolleman, another one of our older members who lives at a care center over in Mahomet. And Keith said, "So what's going on?" He goes, "Well, I got to tell you, Pastor, I've been creating a lot of trouble today. I've been having wheelchair races with another guy at the place." And I said, "What?" Well, it's one of the first beautiful days that there was, and he and another guy had decided that they were going to have a wheelchair race. So all the people were sitting outside, and there was people all lined up along the sidewalks, and there's Keith and this guy racing their electric wheelchairs, the 20 or 200 yards or whatever it was that they were racing, and had to go a couple times because the other guy thought Keith was getting the heads up on him. But the fact is, it was just funny talking to a guy he's got all these reasons why he could be miserable, isolated, alone, can't have family with him, in a care center, has lost a spouse recently, and all these pieces, and yet he too is looking at life and just sharing life and having fun with it. And I don't say that to minimize people's struggles, but the fact is, the struggles overcome us if we don't pay attention to the blessings. And it really is, it's a work in these days to stay focused on something other than all the negativity. Oh my gosh, I just find myself frustrated as I pan through Facebook sometimes and seeing some of the things that people are posting and the back and forth, and it's just really hard when people are spending so much time because they don't have anything better to do, or the politicizing and all the pieces that are just there, and then everybody throws up Jesus stuff too, and I just kind of find myself strangely wondering about the mix when people are doing that. And so as I was thinking of this fireside chat tonight to encourage you about looking for the blessings, thinking of Marie's geese and Keith's, I can see Keith the next time I go to see his wheelchair, it's going to be souped up with like streamers or something on it. But finding a way to find the joy and the beauty of the life around you as you wrestle through the week. Acknowledge the things that need to be acknowledged, but don't let them have control. Don't let them have the upper hand. Focus your heart and your mind on the fact, again, that it is Easter. It is the Easter season. It is Easter morning every morning from now on and every day. And the last time we had one of these, we talked about Easter eyes and how we see everything. I just want to encourage you to be God's people and live as God's people, and consider that everything you do, whether it be posting on Facebook or it be just how you think about things, everything you do represents what you're thinking about God and where you see God in places, and also people themselves find you as well, and what you're doing about God. And I was thinking about Paul as he was writing his book in Ephesians, and that's where the whatever really came from. Instead of, Keith Alleman could be sitting in his room and saying, well, whatever, I'll just sit here and be miserable. Or Marie Hitz could just, whatever, I'll just be miserable. They're looking for positives. They're looking for joys. They're seeking out hopes, and they're seeking out things that would take their attention to what is really, truly a blessing of each day. And so Paul, as he is writing at the end of Philippians in chapter 4, he's writing kind of his farewell. And his closing of the letter is to try to remind people to stay focused, to stay together, to stay on the right course. He's talked about all kinds of things, like whatever it was that he thought was important in life, now he considers it all rubbish. He did that in chapter 3. But now in chapter 4, verses 8 and 9, Paul concludes this letter in these words. He goes, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, and whatever is noble, and whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. Whatever you've learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. You notice that the God of peace will be with you when you put whatever is a blessing and God's focus in your heart. When you look for the joys and the truths instead of focusing on all the minutiae of the world. Today is the day the Lord has made. Whether we're socially isolated so that we seek to protect people, or we're someone who is struggling with their health or aging, or all the other myriads of things that are going on, whatever is really an important word for us today. Whatever you do for the rest of today, and into tomorrow, and the next day of this Easter season, which lasts all the rest of our lives. Whatever you do, look for God's true blessing and grace. Look for the things and think about the things that are excellent and praiseworthy and bring a true joy. Don't focus on the things that diminish and corrupt and corrode, and let the God of peace be with you. Take presence with you. Fill your heart with joy, and you too will be at peace. Brothers and sisters, I long to get to see you in person. I get to see little bits and pieces here where I catch up with people. I just want to continue to pray, let you know I'm praying for you and blessing you. I continue to ask that God would watch over all of the sheep that I've been given the gift to tend and to care for. And I just pray that all of you would continue to walk in his ways. So as the night begins to start to come to a close, and as we continue to move forward into our days each day, the Lord bless and keep you and make his face shine on you. The Lord look upon you in favor, bringing you his peace. Amen. Goodbye, brothers and sisters. We'll see you soon.